Hi everyone, my name is Jen and today I'll be showing you how to make a Suncatcher candy corn. So when you're finished, you should have something like this. But I'll show you how to do it from start to finish. Let's get started. For this craft, you will need a piece of contact paper. I like the clear matte contact paper. You can use the glossy, but you just have to make sure that the contact paper you use is the clear kind. So a piece of contact paper, a piece of cardboard that is as big as you want your design to be when it's finished. We're going to use this to make a stencil. Tissue paper in whatever colors that you want. Today I will be using yellow, orange, and white. A pair of scissors. I have these big boys, but any scissors will do, even the small safety scissors. A permanent marker. Today I'm using Sharpie brand, but really any black permanent marker will do. You just want to make sure that it can write on your contact paper and actually stick. A ruler or a straight edge of some kind. And finally, a paper clip. I like the big kinds, but really any size will work. Today we're going to be making a candy corn, but this craft is great because you could really make anything that you can draw. So I've already taken a piece of cardboard and drawn my candy corn outline, and I marked off where I want my stripes to be. So once you've done that, the other thing you'll need is a piece of contact paper. So if you can see there, I like to get the clear matte version, but this will also work with glossy. You just have to make sure that it's the clear see-through contact paper. So once you have these two materials, you're going to cut a piece of contact paper that is double the size of your stencil. So if you see here, when I put my stencil on one side, I have plenty of room. So if I fold it in half, covers it perfectly and we have a little bit of extra room. So once we have that cut, you're going to trace around your stencil. So if you're doing a stencil like the candy corn where it has stripes, how are you going to mark where your stripes go? So what we're going to do is first trace all the way around the outside with a permanent marker, and then I'm going to put little dots where the edges of my stripes will be. I'll pull up my stencil and connect the dots. You'll see. Here we go. So be very careful when you're lifting up your stencil. We don't want to smear the permanent marker because you will see your marker outline in your finished product. So as you can see, I did the complete outline, and our little dots are where we're going to draw the stripes. So now I'm just going to connect my dots. As you can see, one of my lines got a little bit wonky, but that's okay, it gives it some character. So I'm going to leave this to dry for just a minute or two, just to make sure that the marker is set. Alright, so it's been about a minute and a half, and I think my marker is pretty set, so now our next step is I'm going to take my piece of contact paper, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold it in half like this, like a book. Make sure your edges line up and crease your fold nice and crisp, and we have our outline. So this is why we want to make sure that we have double the length of contact paper. We're going to take the side that has our design drawn on it, and we're going to peel back the backing halfway, so to our crease line. And be careful because contact paper is really sticky. So then we're going to take our paper clip and I'm going to clip the backing together so that way we won't worry about it falling over. And back on the part that we're working on. So, as you can see here, I have my outline and it's sticky on the back. And now we're going to start laying down our colors. If you want to make a traditional candy corn, then you're going to have the white be at the bottom, orange in the middle, and yellow on top. I'm going to follow this pattern, but by all means, get as creative as you want. You could even use way different colors or maybe a rainbow candy corn. Really, just do whatever. It's art. So I'm going to start with my white square of tissue paper, and I'm going to start tearing off small pieces and sticking it onto the end piece of our outline. So it's okay to get this outside of the lines, but you might want to make sure, and I'm going to make sure, that I stay within the middle line. So it's okay to get outside all around, but I'm going to make sure I stay inside that middle line. So here we go. When you're tearing your tissue paper, the smaller pieces the better, and as many times as you can overlap the pieces, the cooler it'll look in your window. Alright, so now that my white is finished, you can see the tip of my candy corn is completely filled in. So now I'm going to move on to the middle block and we're going to use orange. So I'm going to do the exact same thing where I'm not really worried about getting outside of the actual candy corn lines, but the stripe lines I'm going to be really careful and try to stay in between. Alright, orange is completely filled in, so all that's left is the last block, which I'm going to make yellow. Alright, so we have all of our colors down. Our entire stencil is completely filled in. So now we're going to remove our paper clip and peel back the rest of our contact paper backing. So the whole thing is now sticky. So be really careful because it will stick to you. Next, you're going to take your ruler or your straight edge, like an old credit card works really well here, and we're going to fold over our contact paper on itself where we folded it in half earlier. So go ahead and fold it. It's okay if it doesn't fold perfectly. You can see my edges are a little bit off. Fold it and take your ruler or your straight edge, and I'm just going to scrape along my design. This is going to help get air bubbles out. It's okay if there are air bubbles off of your design, but actually on your actual design, we want it to be all cohesive, all one piece, and be stuck together nice and tight. All right. We have like a little pocket now. So next we're going to flip it over so we can see our lines, and we're going to take our scissors and we're going to very carefully cut on the line around the outside of our stencil. So all this extra tissue paper is going to be gone. So here we go. Once you've completed your cutting, your Suncatcher is complete. So I find the best way to display these is to put them in a window so that way the sunlight can come right through. And when that happens, you'll get to see really cool textures and overlays where all of your little pieces of tissue paper overlap. Thank you for joining me for this Halloween/autumnal craft. Share any Suncatchers that you make yourself using the hashtag #ClearwaterLibrary. Happy Halloween!